So TikTok hacks promise a better smile, but they're secretly destroying people's teeth. Let me tell you about the 5 dangers no one is talking about. Veneer kits can cause or mask teeth problems. Some TikTokers apply fake veneers or brackets without realizing they can hide gum disease or decay. You might be wondering, why would I spend $500 or $2,500 for tooth on veneers when I could just get a veneer kit online for a fraction of the price? Well, as they say, do it right or do it and a bunch of other expensive dental work twice. Yes, professional veneers can be pricey, but there's a reason for that. Real veneers involve meticulous planning to make sure they look amazing, fit well without harming your bite, and last for years without any issues. Now, when you glue cheap online veneer kits onto your teeth, here's what can happen. They might fracture because of how your teeth bite together. They can throw off your bite completely, making chewing uncomfortable or even painful. Or they may lead to serious jaw pain and even permanent resorption of the jawbone itself. And get this, many of these veneer kits aren't even legal in the US. That means they're unregulated. So who knows what materials or chemicals are in them? You could end up with an allergic reaction, gum damage, irreversible harm to your real teeth. So if you want a better smile, skip the shortcuts. Talk to your orthodontist to see if tooth movement alone can get you the smile you want. Or consult with a cosmetic dentist for bonding or real veneers that are safe, predictable, and built to last. But that's not the only TikTok trend ruining smiles. This one is even more dangerous. Cheek slimming. This is actually something that can collapse your smile. Biting cotton rolls or pushing your cheeks to train your cheekbones can actually shrink your arch and make your smile look sunken in. Ever notice how your face looks a little slimmer in selfies when you suck your cheeks in? It's been a modeling trick for years. And if you do it for your yearly awkward family photo, it's probably no big deal. But here's where it gets dangerous. Some people do this constantly because they like how it makes them look. Problem is, your teeth are part of a living dynamic system, and they respond to pressure you put on them over time. Over time, even subtle forces like those from your cheeks and your tongue can cause your teeth to move. If you're sucking in your cheeks all day long, you're applying a constant pressure that can push your teeth inward, and this can cause narrowing in dental arches, a collapsed V-shaped smile, and an open bite where your teeth don't even meet properly with it. I had one patient who did this exact thing. The bite got so bad, you were one step away from needing jaw surgery to fix it. By the way, if you're serious about improving your smile the right way without risking damage for DIY hacks, our team at Hamilton and Manueli Orthodontics can help. If you're in Las Vegas, head over to hmortho.com and book an in-person consultation. And if you're not local, go to vegasorthodoc.com where you can securely upload your records. So if you want to improve your cheekbones or your jawline, talk to a professional who understands facial balance. Please don't train your cheekbones with DIY hacks that could permanently mess up your smile. But it gets even worse. What about this one everybody's talking about? At-home aligners without x-rays can wreck your bite. Moving teeth without evaluating the roots of the bone via cone beam and imaging can lead to collapsed bites or severe TMJ and joint issues. DIY aligners may seem like a cool, easy fix. Maybe you mold your teeth with some putty, mail it in, get some clear trays to start moving your teeth. No appointments, no x-rays, no problem, right? Well, just check out Smile Direct Club. It used to be a multi-million-dollar company with licensed providers, and they ran into serious issues. Hundreds of lawsuits were filed, patients experienced fractured teeth, jaw pain and joint pain, gum and bone loss, and in some cases, even teeth that became loose or fell out. And that was with some degree of professional oversight. Now imagine trying to move your teeth with a company or some random person on TikTok who never even sees your x-rays. That's a recipe for disaster. Before moving your teeth, we check the thickness and the quality of the bone around the roots. We check the root alignment, the health of the gums, and also the relationship between the top and bottom teeth and your bite. The roots have to stay in the bone while the crowns or the tops of the teeth can move into better alignment. If that doesn't happen, you could end up with root exposure, tooth loss, or bite problems that cause pain and limit your ability to chew correctly. If you want to straighten your teeth safely, find a trusted orthodontist who can do a proper exam and guide you through the process. There's even affordable limited treatment options for minor adjustments done the right way. Now this next hack makes every dentist cringe. Shaving your teeth with a nail file. Yes, people are actually out there doing it. Shaving teeth at home permanently destroys enamel. That nail file hack, it removes enamel forever, weakens the tooth, and increases your risk of sensitivity and decay. You have a tooth that looks too triangular or maybe slightly bigger than its neighbor? TikTok might suggest taking a nail file to it, but here's why that's a terrible idea. There's a safe and legitimate procedure called enameloplasty, or interproximal reduction, IPR for short, where we gently and precisely reshape the enamel to improve the symmetry or fit. But even when we do it professionally, there's a lot that goes into the decision. We measure the enamel thickness, we check the root and nerve anatomy, and we consider how the change will affect your bite. And we use specialized tools, not drugstore nail files. If you shave too much or file the wrong area, you risk permanent tooth sensitivity, cracks or fractures in the enamel, or even damage to the nerve, which can lead to a root canal or, in some cases worse, extracting the tooth. I do IPR all the time as an orthodontist, but it's done with careful planning and skill. If you're thinking of reshaping your teeth, talk to someone who knows what they're doing. Don't DIY your enamel. Once it's gone for good. But nothing is as dangerous as this next hack. Trying to close a gap with a rubber band could literally cost you your front teeth. Elastic bands used to close gaps can slide down the root of the tooth and actually cut off the blood supply, causing teeth to die or fall out. You've probably seen this one. Someone doesn't like the little gap between their front teeth. They don't want to spend thousands of dollars on braces or Invisalign, so they hop on TikTok or Reddit for a quick fix, and next thing you know, they're grabbing tiny elastic hair ties, stretching one around their two front teeth, and going to bed thinking, easy fix, here we come. The next morning, the teeth are sore. Seems like it's working, right? A few days go by, the pain goes away, the gap's getting closed, and they figure success. Until one day, they bite into a sandwich and they feel a little wiggle. Wait, did my tooth just move? They wonder. It happens again. Panic sets in. Eventually, they tell their parents, who take them to the dentist. The x-ray shows the rubber band has slipped down beneath the gums and spiraled down to the root and dissolved the bone holding the tooth in place. The only solution now, extract the teeth and wait for implants once they're old enough. Here's why it happens. Front teeth, incisors, and canines have cone-shaped roots. So when you loop a rubber band around them, it applies pressure that not only pulls them together, but also pushes the rubber band downward. And as it moves down on the root, it cuts off the blood flow to the gums and eventually the bone. That tissue starts to die, often without pain because the blood supply is already compromised. By the time you realize something's wrong, it can be too late. Moral of the story, tooth movement needs to be done by a professional. Many orthodontists, including myself, offer limited treatment for small fixes like gaps and safely and affordably. So how about this next one? If you think that whitening products are always safe, think again. This next mistake could destroy your gums before you even notice. TikTok whitening pastes often contain abrasive or harsh ingredients that damage gum tissue and root surfaces. There are so many whitening products out there and even more hacks floating around TikTok, but if you don't understand what you're putting on your teeth, you could literally be doing real damage. Let's clear something up first. Peroxide is really the only ingredient that truly whitens teeth deep down and gives long-lasting results. Professional gels usually contain hydrogen peroxide or carbamide peroxide. And here's the kicker. Hydrogen peroxide is about 3 times stronger than carbamide peroxide. So 10% hydrogen peroxide is roughly the equivalent to 30% carbamide peroxide. These days, you can get both over the counter or on Amazon. But just because it's accessible doesn't mean it's risk-free. If you're going to DIY this, use a low-strength carbamide peroxide gel, maybe between 10 and 16%. That can be safely worn overnight. Some brands like Night White even include a built-in desensitizer. You can use your clear orthodontic retainers as trays, or even better, you can have your dentist make you custom trays that have little wells for the gel to hold it in place. Just apply the gel to the dried trays and use a small amount. If it's oozing everywhere, that's too much. And apply it to both the front and the back of your teeth as it dissolves all the way through. You want to go all the way back to the molars, ensuring that you get even lettering. But avoid the crazy fads like charcoal, coconut oil, pumice, or natural whitening scrubs. These are abrasive and don't penetrate into the teeth and can wear down the enamel and gums over time. Bottom line, if you want whiter teeth, peroxide-based products used properly are the safest and most effective way to go. Just don't trust everything you see on TikTok. My name is Dr. Jeremy Manueli. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. And as always, your smile is worth doing right. We'll see you on the next one.